welcome back to the N.y.a show. I hope that the week is off to a well start in this chaotic week that I've seen it be as we enter into, as we pass over Hump Day and get that second part of the week. We made it over the hump, and here we are looking at Thursday. You know, You know what I'm saying? Here we are looking at Thursday. We all still here, we still kicking. You know what I'm saying? That's really like the ultimate thing. That's usually like the ultimate thing. We all still here kicking, still here to talk shit another day. You hear me? So I want to make sure that I do plug in that the last story I did was about how God over in Gaza, over in Rafah, a certain part, a certain city, a certain town, how it just was busted, man, looking like you take a whole bunch of eraser shavings and throw them all over the place. You know what I'm saying? It just looks like completely chaotic over there, and like I said, all the tunnels built under the city. So I'm like, yo, a war pop off again. They're gonna be back in the tunnels and mess the place up all over again. But that's my last story that I did. Please be sure that you go to my YouTube, go down somewhere here and check out that show, and also put up some shorts. Be sure that you check out the last couple of shorts that I did as well. I had a lot of fun doing those last couple of days. So please be sure that you do those things and have a great week and into the weekend. And now I want to be sure that I mention the award-winning short film, which is Spirit Arrested Strong, Beautiful Wife, available here on YouTube. Like, share, comment, and then, of course, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Continue to support them as they work on more projects going forward. Please be sure that you do that, as well as How Mother is Balanced Life and Pursue the Dreams. The interview with Breyonna and Thomas by Ajay. Tambe is available for you on Spotify. Be sure that you do that. Now, I spent some time over this chaotic week so far because we have a new president in town. I spent some time over this chaotic week looking into this whole thing about, they are freezing federal funds, nigga, the fast for fuck. I mean, everything just in disarray is how people are feeling. So, of course, more developments have happened there, and the White House revokes the spending freeze in the face of legal challenges. Now, I read this whole story, and I'm going to go through it, and hopefully this video sums it up well for the viewers instead of me just reading it. And if not, then I'm going to read a couple parts of this. But let's look into this whole thing right now.
The Trump administration on Wednesday appeared to abandon its proposed freeze on hundreds of billions of dollars in domestic aid amid legal setbacks and widespread opposition. The White House Budget Office told federal agencies it was rescinding a memo that had ordered them to pause a wide swath of grant and loan.
I want to make a pause real quick. Don't ever say that people complaining and putting up fuss about things don't get things reversed and done, because the opposition came from every single side. And please don't ever let another president tell you that you cannot come into the door at least attempting to get everything done that you want to do, because this surely shook the last 2 days up, and it just shows that don't let them tell you that they can't do certain things. But if you want to do things, you can do it.
Loan payments, but officials said they still planned to block funding for activities opposed by President Donald Trump. At a White House event, Trump said his administration had already identified and defunded unnecessary foreign aid programs.
We are merely looking at parts.
He don't want to give Ukraine. He said we got to ease up giving all that money to Ukraine and different things like that. And I know my folks over there in different countries in Africa, they feeling that bump too, saying that you freezing up the federal funds for the guns and the weapons and that type of vibe.
Of the big bureaucracy where there has been tremendous waste and fraud and abuse.
The proposed spending freeze threw the government into turmoil.
But that's not a lie either. There's been a lot of abuse of money and funds. If we were to see where all these tax dollars and things, all this money was going, we would be so upset. They'd never be able to do anything, because people would be so always upset about something.
Turmoil and disrupted payments to medical and child care providers before it was temporarily blocked by a federal judge. U.S. Senator Patty Murray on Wednesday outlined some of the programs affected by Trump's directive.
Just one example, yesterday, Head Start providers were locked out of their reimbursement portal, meaning folks that are taking care of our youngest kids were suddenly not sure how they're going to keep the doors open or pay their teachers and staff. Rental assistance. The payment system for housing authorities was down yesterday. Funding for firefighters.
that's already a slow paying system. So the simple fact that they froze up the funds to an already slow system is sick, because that means that shit is really going to be slowed down now. Because what they just said about the federal, the housing authority, they already be laid behind. Like, what are we talking about here?
You know what doesn't stop when federal funding stops? Fires.
A White House official said agencies still aim to eliminate funding for diversity and green energy programs, though it is not clear whether they are authorized to do so by law. The decision to rescind the Office of Management and Budget's directive came shortly before a federal judge in Rhode Island was set to consider a request by 22 mostly Democratic-led states and the District of Columbia for a temporary restraining order blocking a policy that they have said could have a devastating effect on their budgets.
Okay, and I want to note that judge was appointed by Barack Obama, and that was, Barack Obama left office years ago now, but that just shows how long that somebody can be a judge. U.S. District Judge John Connell. That's who they were speaking about at the end of the video. And I want to also make sure that I point out here, when in here there's a moment where they said that enemy, somebody that was working with Trump last term, has already had his security privileges revoked have already had security privilege revoked. So anything can happen to that dude at this point. It just show like what they were saying. Mark Milley, who served as the top U.S. military official during Trump's first term in office before emerging as a prominent critic, he has had his security protections revoked. So his head is free game now. That's just stuff that's going on in the midst of all these other headlines. Well, most people probably won't even think about no shit like that. But that ain't the best thing that that could be happening to somebody right now, because Trump said he was gonna get at all the ops when he came back in. And it's the guy, Mr. Pete Hegseth, who barely made it in. 51 to 50 vote got voted through, but he had the accusations of the sexual assault and alcohol abuse. That these are different things that are part of the headlines as well. And then I want to be sure that I did speak on how he wanted to. People who he wanted to arrest, the people who were protesting for Palestinians, anything related to Gaza. He wanted to get they security, get their visas revoked and everything when it comes to them protesting on college campuses. That was another thing that he wanted to do as well. But then it's at the flip, when you flip the coin, as at the same thing, you think about everybody that he pardoned on January 6th that did something that a whole other group of people said that they didn't really agree with, but he said it was cool. He didn't think that was the right thing that they did to them folks, so he really, he pardoned them. So it's like it only works when it's the things that he wants to do and people that he like. It don't work when it's the other way. It doesn't work when it's the other way around. From what just from what I take from this, and I want to be sure that you guys look into it as well. Cause I know they're talking about a lot on the news. There's a lot of things going on right now. But how did you feel about it? Did this affect you in any way when it came to this freeze that they were planning to do on the federal funds? There was a big thing. It did slow stuff up still when it comes, like I said, the payments for the babies. You said, when are we gonna pay the teachers? People looking crazy. Everybody that gets Social Security looking around. People that get food stamps. That's the first thing I heard. Food stamp. It's a lot. So let me know what y'all thoughts on that story as we move into more things in relation to January 6th, because here we are. You got Donald Trump. I said Donald Trump came into office and he was